guys, welcome back to another episode of Uncut Gems with Slim. I am super excited to have you here. If you are a new listener, go ahead and subscribe. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel at Uncut Gems with Slim. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm super excited to have you here. We are in our first series. It's called Bossed Up Gems, and it's an entrepreneurial series engaged to get you guys all the information that you need if you're like a new entrepreneur, an upcoming content creator, or anything like that. And we have a beginner YouTuber series going on Slim Reshae's YouTube channel. So make sure you guys check that out. And so I'm just super excited because this week we got somebody special in the building. We got my girl. Okay, we got content creator, Neo Curly CEO. And sis got a master's. She a jack of all trades. So I just want to welcome to the podcast, Miss CurlyBev. What's up?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Hair laid.
Just a little bit.
Birthday around the corner.
Weather got risen up already. I hate it, but whatever.
Yes. Well, happy early birthday. When this goes live, you'll be 25.
You know, getting up there, sadly.
Girl, join the club. I just turned 25, so like I feel like I'm in a...
Oh yeah, you did just have birthday not too long ago.
Girl, we getting up there.
Right.
So I just want to kind of share with you guys how I know Bev. I kind of met Bev through social media. I was like, this girl is popping. Her fro is popping. And then we also had a lot of common content creators that we knew. And it was just, I don't know, I felt like it was organic. You was just a supportive queen. And we just love all of that. So one day I got to make my way out to Texas and hang out with the Texas hotties.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's hot out here, though.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
Oh, wait, you in Atlanta, ain't you?
No, girl, I'm in South Carolina, so it's hot here too.
I thought I played your little quiz earlier. I could have sworn I clicked Atlanta and it said it was
I want to move to Atlanta.
Oh, I completely, girl, I must have been delusional when I was reading that. I could have sworn. I thought I said where I live in. I was like, oh, I got that right.
You better speak that over my life. One day we'll be in Atlanta, eventually maybe. We'll see. I don't know. Texas got a lot of, attractive stuff. Make me want to kind of come down there, but I hear it's hot.
There's a lot of, influencers and content creators that's been moving out here. I know about 2 or 3 of them that have moved out here in the past year. Like, they're more specifically moving to Dallas. Like, it's kind of coming up. I'm a little scared because it's like, I don't need all these folks here. I'm doing my thing out here. I don't need everybody, coming out here. So
you gonna be the OG. Yes. So I just like Atlanta because it's city, but it got a little country too. Texas is a little far because my family's on the East Coast, but who knows?
I've never been to Atlanta. Like, I was actually gonna go earlier this year, but Corona. So that didn't work out. So
girl, we gotta do a trip or something and get you to Atlanta.
I do need to go out there. I really, it looked fun, so.
It's fun.
Hopefully one of these days I get out there.
It's a whole lot of black girl magic, a whole lot of black magic,
that's part
period.
of the reason why I want to go out there. That's part of the reason. It's a lot of skin folk out there. So,
it is.
For that reason too,
Yes, so we gotta get you out here. We're gonna have to plan that offline. But so I just kind of want to get into this week's gem. Every week we share a gem on the podcast just to kind of give everyone some inspiration going through the week. So this week's gem is about knowing your passion, and I just feel that you know what you're passionate about based off of the time that you invest in that thing. So like if you're struggling to identify what you're passionate about, just evaluate what you invest your time and money in. And I feel like oftentimes, people declare that they passionate about a thing, like all these people who want to start a YouTube channel and be an influencer, they say that they passionate about it and about starting their business, but then they won't invest in their vision. And so, like, there's an immense amount of research that's available and that can be done on your end to prepare you and like equip you for executing your vision, but you just have to go out there and get it. And like, you cannot expect to arrive at your destination without making the journey to it. And what I mean by that is your goals aren't going to just check themselves off the list if you're not investing and actively working towards these goals. So, as a multifaceted Black queen who not only is a content creator and is a boss in that area, but also having a product-based business, girl, I know you done did a lot of investing.
Man, let me tell you, okay, like, because I mean that's what take up all my time. Like it was even harder when I was a student because I started influencing social media stuff and starting my business, like, you know, getting the products, you know, getting in the works while I was still in graduate school.
Oh,
It was
man.
tough, like having to do classes. Then I gotta create content. Then you gotta try to make these products and name them and do all this other stuff. And what's the logo gonna be? What's the name gonna be? You know, so it was a big struggle when I first started off. And I mean, if we being real, I still struggle to this day. It's not easy trying to basically have two jobs that you
Mm-hmm.
when you work for yourself. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like you don't have nobody telling you, hey, you gotta get this done. Hey, da, 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 da. Even if you do have a team that you work with, at the end of the day, it is all on you. And that could be the toughest part of investing your time because you don't it's you. Like you gotta
Right.
be on your own butt, you gotta be on your own head, you gotta get up. I gotta wake up at 8 because I have to film. I gotta be done filming by 2, so that way I can work on my business and da 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 da. And then I can be stopped at this time, or I have to dedicate this day to solely this. And it's a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of self discipline. And like I said, that self
Yes.
discipline comes in time investment. Like time investment, time management is like probably number one most important thing when it does come to being an entrepreneur, no matter what type of entrepreneur you are, whether you be a content creator or you want to create your own brand, like time management and investment is like key for sure.
That is so true. And lately I've been talking about like self-discipline on the podcast just because it's so important, and you don't really realize that you can lack discipline in certain areas of your life, and it really be detrimental until you realize like, okay, girl, you lacking discipline. Or like for
Mm-hmm.
me lately, I've been staying up late, like just trying to get stuff done, content created, because I'm back at work. So I'm basically like blocked
Okay.
out from 8 to 5. And so outside of that time, I have to figure out where I'm gonna, manage my podcast, my YouTube, my Instagram, all of that stuff. And it's just like discipline is so important, because even though if I use those hours outside of my 8 to 5 to like content create and all this stuff, if I'm not getting the proper amount of sleep, I'm not going to be good when it comes to anything else. So it's just like coming up with that balance. And I know it's really hard managing your time, especially when you don't have a set schedule. So like when I was in quarantine, I felt like I was like you know what I'm saying? Because I had all the time. I had all the time, and you have to like literally block it out yourself, because at the end of the day, it's all on you. So that was really good. And so I wanted to ask you, as a person who not only, like I said, is a content creator, but you have a product-based business. So, girl, you got to do the sampling, the labels, the packaging, girl, all of that, the inventory, customer service, all of that. I wanted to ask, what are your top 3 ways that you feel are like just necessary steps for investing in your passion? So whether that may be like you investing financially into your business to get, like product pictures from someone who does product photography, or whether it's investing your time, investing in outsourcing help and things like that. I wanted to know like what's your top ways that you invested in your brand.
Okay, so I'll say my top 3 for me is I always tell people, especially like if people want to do multiple, like if they have multiple interests in entrepreneurship. So like You want to start a brand and you want to be like an influencer as well. I always tell people, get one done before you add two. And that's super, and that's something that I wish I would have did a little bit more, because I was trying to juggle how to be how to be a content creator and how to be a business owner at the exact same time. And I didn't get content creator down first before I started doing something else. So I feel like I always tell people, before you add on two, you got to get one down. That's not gonna be perfect, because you're just not gonna be perfect all the time, and you're not gonna get it right every time. There's always room for growth and doing better and upping your skills, but you have to get some type of consistency down of what you originally are doing before you add on something else. So, like, for example, I really want to do a podcast as well, and I've been saying this since the beginning of the year.
Yes.
But the reason why it has not happened yet, I don't got 1 and 2 down. I'm gonna add 3. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be real with myself. How am I going to juggle a third job, basically, if I'm still struggling on trying to balance out 1 and 2? So I tell people all the time, like my friends, all them, if you want to do 2 things, we got to get 1 down first. And with that comes with the research of investing into whatever it is that you're trying to do. So it's a lot of like, when it comes to content creation, I think people think we just be cute and take pictures and call it a day.
Girl,
And
listen.
no, okay, no. And I tell people, it's much harder, much difficult than you think it is. But I don't go and sit in front of the camera and hey, and then I keep it moving and get paid. That is not how it works. And I tell people that come to me and they're like, oh, I want to be an influencer. I want to do YouTube. And I ask them certain questions and you can't give me an answer back because you have not done the proper research. You cannot see what somebody else is doing. Like, I'm going to do that too, without getting into the research. You know what I'm saying? It may look easy to you, but to when the people who are actually doing it, it's not. There is time and there's investment, there's research, and there's money, and there's working like emails out the galore and all kinds of investment in equipment and paying for your ring lights and your vanity mirrors and makeup and hair products and whatever it is that you're doing. And I always tell people, please do your research before you try to get into something. Like me with the podcast. That's what the stage I am with the podcast is, the research stage. Before I start buying the equipment and doing all the other stuff that come with it, because it makes no sense for me to next month start a podcast when I don't know what it is that I am doing.
That's true.
So when it comes to people who want to be, but it don't matter what you want to be, content creator, if you want to own a business, you have to do research in the marketing of what it is. Hair, you want to do natural, you want to do makeup, okay, you need to do research in the marketing of that, of the top brands, and look and see what they're doing, and just reading on how to create these products and what ingredients and da 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 da. Because even before I started Neo Curly, before we even made the products, I spent 2 months researching ingredients before we even had type 1 prototype, because I wanted to make sure I knew what it was that I was doing before
I remember you had the little no-name bottles with your little concoction. I was like,
about 5 or 6 of the no-name bottles. Okay,
I was like, what is that, sis? Like,
yes, we had no name on it, just a little label, whatever. Okay, this will be the hair meal, but we have a name for it yet. But that's something that I had to do research in its ingredients, what makes sense. They go together instead of just make a hair meal and call it a day. And I don't know what it's doing, and now folks' hair falling out because I didn't do what it was that I'm supposed to do. So I feel like when it came to Neo Curly, I really spent a lot of time on researching ingredients before we did the products. I wanted to know what it was that I was doing before I did it, and I just didn't want to give something mediocre to people. And then when it came to being a content creator, that's something that I should have did more research into before I got started. I think I was thinking like everybody else, like, oh, it's kind of something I fell into, not necessarily on purpose. So I feel like that's and it's like, oh, I like this, what I'm doing, oh, I like it. And so while I was doing it, that's when I started researching, and I realized how much stuff goes into content creation and the influencer life but I was just kind of failing to it. And then when I started learning stuff and I have other people teaching me things and I'm doing this research and all that, and I'm like, I can't believe that it's so much that went into this. I wish I knew this before I really got things started. I feel like it'd be easier for myself. You always learning, you always growing, you always learning something new. But like I said, it is important to properly do your not no week. Okay, it takes
Listen.
months to get stuff down. And also, like I said, before you start, two, let's figure out one before we stress ourselves out and we got too many things on our plate, at this point. So then another thing I would say is getting organized. You got
I'm
to
working
get
on it.
organized. I feel like I'm always working on it. I'm finding little ways to help myself get organized, but you got to get organized. So for me, something that I do is I have 3 planners. Okay, I got 3 different types of planners. I have the big calendar thing that sit in my kitchen. I have an actual physical planner that I write in, and then I use like the Google Calendar planner thing. I have that so when I'm walking around the house, boom, it's a big planner in my face. When I'm sitting down, writing, getting organized, boom, it's a planner right there. When I'm on my laptop, boom, it's a planner right there in my face. That way I don't forget and I remember that I got this coming up. Oh, I got that happening today. It's happening tomorrow, before I wake up and I look and I got 3 things that I forgot that I had done. So for me, the planners is best for me with organization. I gotta have 3 of them. You may not need 3 of them. But
no, I'm gonna have to try that.
No, yeah, I have one. It's just kind of like, so it's in different areas of the house. So it's always in my face. So I'm constantly reminded of what it is that I have to do. Because I know me personally, I can be very forgetful. I'm not gonna lie, I be having so much going on, I can forget. So I need that organization with the planners to, help remind me constantly of what it is that I'm doing. Also, just getting organized with budgeting, like especially for me with the content creating, getting sponsored with brands and stuff is something that I was not doing good at all at first, was keeping up with my money, when I'm supposed to get paid, how much I'm supposed to get paid. I'm sitting here like, when am I supposed to get paid this month? Who's supposed to pay me?
Because brands be quick to forget.
Exactly. You got so much going on. So that's something I had to do, was give me a little journal and start getting organized. Okay, this brand, they want me to post by this date. That means if it's in at 30, that they owe me by this, and this is how much, and I check mark off when they pay, or I make a note when they late, or when it's coming up. Like, just have to get organized. You just gotta find ways that's work best for you. Cause me, I'm best at reading. I remember things better when I write it down.
Same.
Physically, I have to write it down. Like, I can type it up all I want, but I'm really gonna remember it once I write it down. This is my learning style as well. Like when I was in college, they could have the notes right there in my face. I'm still writing them notes down anyways, because that's
I did the same thing. Yes, that's how I remember.
Exactly. So if you gotta make if you auditory learner and you gotta hear, make voice notes for yourself every day. Or you can do like the alarms on your phone, that noise that helps remind you and have a little note, you got this to do. So it's kind of like just figuring out what works best with yourself or the organization. So for me, I got like my little journal. I write down like content that I want to do for the week. Like, I do a lot of writing. I actually like writing. Like, I know I'm playing, but I really do enjoy writing. I like writing too. It's just something that I had to do a lot in school, so I feel like I'm just used to it. But the organization, and then lastly, just knowing your strength and your weaknesses, and like that's where the whole team. And sometimes you gotta bite that bullet. You gotta hire somebody and pay somebody. But I don't mind paying somebody to do something I know I just simply cannot do.
Girl, look, the bullet. I need to buy it.
Like, I feel like, I know sometimes I want to spend that money or the budget is tight, but if you can work something out with somebody, or you can find somebody to do good work that's affordable, or maybe a friend or something like that. But like, I know the things that I am really good at, and I know just some things that I'm just simply just not the best at. And that's okay. And I've accepted that. I still work on the weaknesses. I don't just completely give up on it. But if I know it's somebody out there that can make that bomb for me, then I have no problem like investing into that, because I feel like investing into them will make the outcome much better than something that I know I just simply cannot do that well, or it won't be received as well. And also just sometimes you need a team. Like with me, Neo Curly, it is 4 of us on the team, and everybody kind of has their strengths and weaknesses of, you know, so and so is really good at this, so and so is really good at that, you know, da da da. So we all kind of like play, like help each other with the weaknesses, and like, okay, you know, I know so and so ain't the best with that, so I'm gonna help them out with that. You know, it's like when you have a team, y'all can help each other. Obviously, having a team that you can trust and that you get along with, and y'all all are right here, like on the same plan, the same vision. But I think it is important just to simply know, hey, dude, I'm not the best at this. Let me find somebody that can help me or they can do this for me until you figure out how to do it yourself. So definitely being real with yourself, know what you can and cannot do. I'm not saying, you know, I don't want to do the whole like, you can do anything you put your mind to, because you can. But sometimes some stuff you're just not the best at, and I'm okay with that. Like, I know I'm not good at like the graphic design stuff. I'm actually terrible at it. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna hire somebody to do that for us because I can't do it. So I'm not gonna be sitting there down on an iPad trying to draw when I can draw a stick figure. So it's just kind of, you know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like with that type of thing, just knowing when it's best to bring someone on the team or maybe hire someone for a service or something like that. So my top 3 will be research, strengths and weaknesses, and getting organized.
That's so good. And I literally just talked about this on the first episode of this series. We were talking about investing in yourself and how important it is. And literally my brand has elevated so much the moment that I came to a realization and was like, okay, girl, like you cannot, like, you can try to do everything, but everything ain't your strong suit. And it was at that moment when like everything just started going up, because instead of wasting time trying to figure out how to do something in my own strength, I would just like reach out to someone who I know, like, oh, this person can edit this video for me, or she's an actual lifestyle photographer, so let me get someone who does that versus me trying to click the self-timer and hide the remote, you know?
Exactly. Like me, I went and got a manager for the content creation, because between trying to do these brand deals, like it's like I'm spending hours on my computer pitching myself to brands where I can hire somebody that can do it more effectively than I can, and someone that can help me with these invoices and these things that I'm just not like 100 artists, like maybe I don't have all the time to do. So getting a manager for me has helped elevate me as well when it comes to I say making my page more beauty and lifestyle versus just hair, because that's a struggle that I had, was getting sponsorships outside of hair. So that's why I completely stopped. I don't do any type of sponsorships with any hair brands besides my own. So I haven't done, the last hair brand deal I have done was April of 2019, and after that, I stopped. And you know, I did struggle for a little bit, of course, but like having that manager really helped me find some of my strengths when it came to working with other brands and like getting myself out there more and pitching myself more. So that's something I was like, okay, I'm not the best at pitching myself. Let me go find somebody that can do that for me.
Yes, and child, that's something that's next on my to-do list, like, because I see y'all out here.
It is a little difficult finding a manager.
Yes, so, and then a lot of people, they got the whole roster stacked. I know y'all got a fire roster over there. But yes, that's definitely something that I will eventually be like investing into, because you know, when you starting off, you just think like, oh, like there's an extra little bit of my income that I gotta give to somebody else, but you don't think about it until you are aware, like, okay, no, they can negotiate probably more than twice of what I'm negotiating, and you're not even gonna feel, you know, that percentage leaving your pocket.
Exactly. That's exactly how it is with my manager. I was like, dang, you know, I'm about to get a little my money. But when they start raising their prices up and they really negotiating for you, and they're like, no, or like, no, we're not doing it for this, or you gotta pay more for this, da 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 da. And I be sitting there CC'd in the emails like, I can't believe she talking to them like this. And they say yes, you know,
because
so
they
just
know.
yeah, exactly. So it's like somebody like having a manager help me also learn my worth when it came to being a content creator and asking for money and asking for the prices that I deserve. I was really, really low about myself. Now that I think about my prices,
Girl.
that was before. Lord, I want to go back and smack myself, but I can't do it because you live and you learn, right? So definitely
Right.
having a manager has helped with that a lot.
Right, because I've definitely been there. Like, literally, I've been lowballing myself up until probably like the middle of this year, and I probably still am lowballing myself for sure. So having that management is definitely beneficial because they know the industry, that's their lane. Like, they know what they're doing, and so they able to, you know, get you better deals for a better rate. And so thank you for sharing all them good tips, girl, because that was quality, okay? So as we wrap up, I've been asking all of my bossed up guests one question, and that is, if you could give yourself a piece of advice, like at the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey, like what would it be? Like, what would you give someone who's sitting at home listening to this and they want to start their own business or want to start becoming a content creator? Like, what advice would you give them?
I know this might sound like a cliche answer, but don't compare your journey to other people. And that's something I struggled with when I first started, because you see these people that done did it and they made it and they out there. You're like, dang, like when I'm gonna get to that, or why am I not at that? Da, da, da. But you can't compare your year one to somebody's year five. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I had to work on, was like just being patient with my own journey. Like it's like you want it now. Like I want to have 500K followers right now, and I want Neo Curly to just be the biggest hair care brand in the world, and all this other stuff. But it's like it took me some time to just be patient with myself. I was really frustrated when our launch date kept getting pushed back. Like it got pushed back months, and I just kept like I was like, I was frustrated and I was upset. But something I was like, you know what? I would rather be patient and make sure when I put this out here that it's the best that I did, versus I'm impatient. I want it now. Like I want it to be successful now. I'm gonna put it out there. You know. And as far as with the content creator thing, like I feel like it just takes time to figure out what your thing is, like what it is that people come to you for. What do you really enjoy creating content about the most? Like what is your like your filming style? What is your editing style? What type of brands are you looking to work with? And the prices and things like that. And I just feel like I was being very impatient. And like I said, I see these girls like she look like me. Why I ain't got this that. Like we look
Right.
you think like that, but it's just kind of like I said, you just can't compare where somebody else, because at one point they was you. And also you just can't compare how your start is. Some people get lucky and they go viral and they blow up out of nowhere and they get all these followers within a year. It's just like, I've been doing this for 2 years now.
Right.
What am I doing wrong? Like that type of thing. Because I have people that say that, because I feel like I'm one of the lucky people that went viral. And then that's how I started getting brand dealerships and like that. I just randomly went viral. And my followers shot up like 40K, and within 3 days I have 40K plus 2 followers, and I'm just like, oh my, I don't know what to do now, But it's like I haven't necessarily gone viral since then, so I haven't had that like surge of followers, and I've been stuck at almost 200K forever, and I'm like, what am I doing? And so and so followers is going up like crazy, and and it's like you can't do that to yourself. And I have to catch myself when I am slightly comparing myself to somebody else. I'm just like, dang, we just the same amount of followers. What happened within these 3 months that they gained, another 10K plus and I didn't, like that type of thing. So just the self-comparison kills you. I feel like the self-comparison make you enjoy your journey less, because you're so busy worried about trying to be like somebody else that you forget to be yourself. And that's something that I try to just to tell everybody, like when they come to me and be like, how'd you grow your followers, or what did you do? And it's like you can get that advice, but at the end of the day, you gotta figure out what you're gonna do. And
Right.
what's the steps you're gonna take in your plan, and what works best for you, because what works for me doesn't necessarily work for you. So it's just like self-comparison kills. Like it really, really does. It's like one of the worst things ever. Make you get down on yourself. You feel bad. You don't feel successful because this person got a little bit more than you and all this other stuff. You can't do that. You just gotta focus on yourself. Every small success is a success. It's a step forward. And you just gotta remember that, whether it's like, it don't matter if this person gained 10K followers in 1 month. If you gain 2K, that's 2K more supporters that you have. And you should be happy. You should celebrate that, and you should congratulate yourself, and let's keep it moving. So
that's so good, because I've been there so much. Like,
I feel like we all have at some point.
Yeah, and like a lot of people don't realize that I've been on YouTube, I want to say almost 5 years, and I'm just not like, I'm like super excited because I'm like, girl, I'm almost at 200K, but at the same time, like the people who looking at that almost at 200K, they wasn't looking at me celebrating 10 views on a video and stuff like that. They wasn't there necessarily when I got my 100th subscriber, and I was like geeking about it. So it's just like you gotta catch yourself and be aware when you do get in those moments where you're like, dang, like I've been stuck at this number for so long, or like what's going on? I was doing so good at this time, but now it's just like stagnant. And so you just gotta kind of like snap back, and every now and then I go and I'll like watch my old content just to remind me, like, okay, girl, like quit playing with yourself, because you do create quality content. So it's like I have to check myself every now and then when I get in those moments, and like being able to refer back to old content that I made. I'm like, girl, you did that, and now you here, like you could do even better. So I kind of use myself like a little line, you your own competition, you competing with yourself.
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of like the vibe that I go off of. But I'm so glad you came on here and blessed us with some gems today. Thank you so much, sis. And for anyone listening, make sure you guys check out Uncut Gems with Slim on YouTube. It is my new YouTube channel for the podcast, so we giving you all the visual vibes, and CurlyBev is over here looking gorgeous with her straight hair, so y'all make sure y'all tune in on YouTube, as well as all podcast streaming platforms. Again, this is our Bossed Up Gems series for entrepreneurs. CurlyBev, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at CurlyBeviie. And you can find me on TikTok at the CurlyBeviie. Since somebody took CurlyBeviie, I don't know who it is, but I'm gonna find you. And on YouTube, it's the CurlyBev Show.
It's the CurlyBev Show.
I don't even know where that came from. I did it on accident one day, and I just ran with it. I've been doing it ever since.
It was so good. I love that. What about Neo Curly?
At Neo Curly. Well, it's at Neo Curly on Instagram, and then it's at Neo Curly Product on Twitter, and then www.neocurly.com.
Perfect. So for everyone listening, I'll make sure to link all of CurlyBev's information in the description box and the episode notes, as well as the information for Neo Curly. Do you have any like little secrets you want to put out there for Neo Curly? I know you guys launched some more tools, or they're coming.
The tools is coming. The tools is coming soon. Like we got a bunch of new tools, like a lot coming. We also got some very exciting news that, well, by the time that you put this on YouTube, we probably would have announced it by now. So we got some really cool news, a very big step for us that's coming. So I'm excited.
Yes, I'm so excited. Again, thank you guys for joining. Make sure you subscribe. And until next time. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and feel free to connect with me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Slim Reshae. That's SlimReshae. Links will be listed in the show notes. And until next time, love yourself and be beautiful.